Hey there, YouTube friends, maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And welcome back in to Parkitect. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Amusement Park. Something we started, well, a long time ago, but something we just restarted in the last episode, aka episode number 1. Duh. And today we're going to be working on the Main Street portion. And it's going to be very German-inspired. Ooh, bumped my mic. German-inspired as far as I can get in Parkitect. There are probably I know there are other people that can do it far superior to what I can, but I like where it ends up. We're going to be jumping all over the place in our time-lapse today because I've been getting into this habit of not recording until I feel like I'm in a good groove, but the problem is once I hit that groove, I forget to push record. And it's just for me because I really don't want you to sit here and be bored watching me struggle. Like, that's not what this is supposed to be about. So anyway, you're going to see a whole bunch of little facades in today's episode, and it's just going to be generic Bavarian, generic architect, Swiss, Germany, not Swiss, but German-looking architecture. Lots of timber, lots of these wooden, lots of these just, I guess, stucco-ish walls, and I think it turns out pretty nicely. I've really been digging playing Parkitect. Obviously, the last few days it's been really nice. While Jonty was working on Uzuri, but now I have Uzuri in my possession, so I'm going to be spending most of my time this week doing that, and so you can expect maybe a bit of time before the next Parkitect video comes out after this one, but do stay tuned. It will be back, probably in a week or so, because I really am enjoying it, and I hit a groove as I was building today and the last couple days that really was most excellent. So I'm borrowing a lot of techniques here that I see from Silverette. He's like the king of this style of architecture, whether it's Planet Coaster or Parkitect or even back in Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. I mean, this European style of building he is all about, and he is most excellent. So I actually found myself going back in and watching some of his Parkitect videos and to see how he would put pieces together. He's a huge inspiration of mine, as I'm sure you're all well aware. And like I said in the previous episode, $2.20 is another one that I've been watching regularly with his park, Dollarwood, which is an awesome name. But those two guys are my main go here, my main inspiration. And actually, good old our bro Ruble Trillions, he has been working really hard in Parkitect as well, and he's been sharing some screens on Bro Nation, and it's nice to see a bunch of people coming over to Parkitect and just totally killing it, just absolutely knocking it out of the park. So yeah, but one of the things that I'm really happy with in this build is actually this building we're working on right here. This is extremely loosely based on one of the buildings I saw in Six Flags Fiesta Texas. It was kind of this castle-y looking thing, and so I kind of went that route, and I was really happy to find this texture, these wall textures and these pieces to make this look a little bit like a castle. It's a very simple building, but I think it does its job quite well, and it ends up being a restroom. And like I said, I think it looks pretty good. I like it. I like how it ended up. And actually, I really enjoy how this whole little area ended up. You'll notice these custom signs I'm using. They are from Shy Guy. He has, I think, 4 different building sets for Parkitect and a dining set. And I actually have all of his custom content because he's excellent at. Obviously, I mean, if you've been following me long enough, I mean, you know who Shy Guy is, and he is most excellent at creating custom content. And he made a whole bunch for Parkitect. So you should definitely, if you're into Parkitect and into more pieces to build with, make sure you check out that set because it's very good. So one of the things I really love about Parkitect is the ability to lay fences down and they actually block the paths, and it creates all these nice little lanes and different paths people can take based on where they want to go and what they want to do. And I think it just makes the whole thing look a bit more like real. I really like it. I think I think it's a really smart idea by the developer. So over here, I wasn't quite sure what to do, so I figured we'd have a main staff area here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Easy to get into this area. I had a hard time because the park fence is right here, and I didn't want to necessarily do too much with that. By the way, in the last episode, I mentioned that the fencing doesn't work. You can use these wooden fences to cover up the in-game, the chain link park fence. Found that out. So I will be using that when I need to. That was a nice little discovery that I made. I did try it, and yeah, it does work. The other fence types do not replace it, so all you can do is cover it up. I could use walls, but I think they'd be too tall. So I felt like the bathroom wasn't big enough here, so I wanted to go ahead and add a little bit of a backstage just building. And I'll have to look. Some people have done really good making like ductwork and vents and stuff on the top of their buildings. So if you know what you're doing, if you know what pieces those are people are using, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd like to add those details to my buildings as well. So, and now this is the building here that gave me quite a bit of trouble. At least at first. I took 2 or 3 efforts before I finally was happy with what I was doing, enough to push record. We're going to make a big old corner establishment. It's going to be a brewery, because if you know me, you know, of course, that's what it's going to be. What else could it be? And I think it makes sense with the German influence, the German theme that we're going with here. And again, this is kind of... I'm channeling my inner Shy Guy here. He's for both Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster. He has been he has this Swiss set that's just fantastic, and he's made buildings kind of like this. So I was thinking about those buildings as I was building this. So he was a big inspiration. And at first I was really concerned, because it was just like a big whitewashed wall. And this is by far one of the biggest buildings I've made in Parkitect. And it's something I think I need to get more used to, is building these larger structures, because I think Parkitect can handle it. As far as like aesthetically, I think it can look good, as long as you're careful not to make just a giant ass square. Like that probably wouldn't be too great. So, but like at first I was like, oh, I don't know if this is what I want. And you'll see this building goes through several additions and modifications to try and spice it up and make it look a little bit less flat, give it a bit more dimension and a bit more character. And I think that helped a lot to solidify it as a corner structure here. It's not really it's the main dining area, I think, in the park, or at the very least at this part. So much so that right across the plaza from this is another eatery. I think I might turn that into a gift shop, like a full-fledged emporium type thing. But this little balcony here is supposed to be just for show. Although I do add stairs and stuff to it, so maybe it's not. I don't know. But again, I think it came together pretty well. I'm quite pleased with the direction that I took it in. So took a little bit of trial and error and making things work and finding what worked. And yeah, but as soon as that second story went on, it was like, oh, gotta move the door, and can only have one door in there now. But I think each change I made to the building made what was there before even stronger, even in the case where I would need to rebuild some things. So like those stairs, I had to move some stuff around, but I think it made it look better. So I felt like I was missing something major here, so we went ahead and we added a tower, a clock tower to be specific. I think it kind of gives a focal point to the building in a way that is necessary for such a big corner structure. So I like how it ended up. One thing I'm not necessarily sold on, now that I'm looking at it, are the green roofs, especially because they're so close color-wise to the ground texture. I might need to change those up. I don't know what color to go though. I don't know. Brown just seems so bleh. And I've already got a red and a blue, and I mean, there's lots of colors, I know, but suggestions. Maybe I'll do a deep orange. That might not be bad. That might look kind of nice. I'll give it a try. Threw down some picnic benches here, and I tried to do some stuff with some lighting and kind of abandoned it in lieu of flags. And what we do is we actually make them the colors of the German flag. And if they aren't in the correct order, I apologize. I was just going off of memory here. I know what colors they are, but I don't know what order they're in. And I forget, does Germany have horizontal or vertical stripes? I know Belgium has the exact same thing, just One of them's horizontal and one of them's vertical, but I can't remember which is which. So, but here's more of that, using the fences to kind of block off areas. And if you want to go in this way, it feels like it's more of a seating area, and I really like the way that looks. I do have some path covers, so I could do diagonal paths, but I haven't yet. Like, I've thought about it, but I haven't, because I really kind of like the grittiness of it. Like, I know the $2.20 talks a lot about this, keeping the charm, the aesthetic, the isometricness, the nostalgia, the throwbackedness of this game is one of the major appeals, I think. And so kind of keeping everything 90 degrees is I think kind of the point. And I really like it. I like the way it looks. I think it came out quite well. So adding some stuff in here, and of course it has to serve pretzels. If it's a German brew hall, of course it's gonna serve pretzels. Come on. So yeah, big old pretzels. Making sure that our eventual staff can get back there. One of the things I need to do is I need to exit the scenario editor. I've been building all this in the scenario editor. Can't bring peeps in scenario editors, so I need to bring this into the park proper, set it up so that it'll function the right way, and then be able to bring peeps in, because it does come to life with the goofy peeps running around. So adding some greenery and some flowers. As you can see, this is where the path is going to head, and I was really surprised how close to the river we already are. It's kind of interesting. Like, I haven't ever played where I did terraforming before building, and I kind of like it, because like you're going to see as we build this coaster here, our first coaster in the park, you're really going to see how the terrain and the river shaped a part of the layout, and I am so pleased with the way it turned out. Coaster building, whether it's in Planet Coaster or Parkitect or any other game, is not my strong suit, and I'm not sure it ever will be. My goal is to be decent enough. So here's the part here where the river comes into play, and I love this idea of just coming around the river and doing this cool helix. I mean, you're kind of hauling ass. I'll probably bank it some more, but I mean, it's got great stats, but I'm really happy with the way this coaster turned out. It's supposed to be kind of an older coaster. It's like, your standard double out and back. It's almost like a Cyclone, almost like one of those. Little bit different, but I think it sells well as an older coaster. I accidentally deleted all the water from the river, so I had to fiddle with that a bit. Didn't want any tunnels. I didn't think the tunnels would fit aesthetically for this ride. So, but here we are. I think that looks quite nice there, quite picturesque, if I do say so. Putting some rocks down to kind of build up. I put some rocks down to kind of look like you're building up the area a little bit. I put these in to kind of beef up the support structure. I don't know. I will need to recolor them. I might just get rid of them. I'm not 100% sold on them. So here we are, beefing up the river banks a little bit, the creek banks a bit. And I wanted this to look like it's been here a long time, so we're throwing in lots of foliage. When I posted some pictures to Bro Nation today, someone suggested to make sure to tweak the colors of the trees, since we can do that, various shades of green, and I completely agree with that sentiment. I will be going back in and doing that. You'll see around the river I did that quite a bit, but in the actual, like, along the plazas and stuff, all the trees are just the default colors. So I think I am going to go in and mess with it a bit. So, but that is actually getting to be near the end of the episode. So I'm kind of liking these under 20-minute episodes. It's right around 15 minutes. I think this is a perfect length for Parkitect, and I'm also pleased with the amount of stuff I got done in this episode. So hopefully you are too. Hopefully you're excited and you like the direction we're headed. We'll work more on the coaster in the next episode. So with that being said, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and like the video for Parkitect, and if you want to see more Parkitect. And don't forget to have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next episode of Parkitect. Take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.